everybody, to SRN Wednesday Night Truck Series. We are at Pocono this week, also known as the Tricky Triangle. Drivers are taking their qualifying time now. Let's take a look at our race conditions. We have 66 degrees is the weather with 60% humidity in the Pocono Hills, 10-mile-per-hour wind. And the track temperature is 73, so nice cool temperature on the track. Should be good for grip and everything else these drivers need to get around this place pretty quickly. See some trucks going by here. This track is a very interesting track, one of the favorites for drivers, of course myself as well. It is a track that has 3 corners and all of them are different. If I bring up the track map there, you can tell they've all been modeled after a corner in different tracks of NASCAR with banking and angle and everything. So they took kind of 3 different track designs, put them all into one. Makes for some exciting racing. Nice and wide 4-5 lane track, so drivers can use all of the racetrack all over the place, and we should see some 3-wide action pretty frequently in this race. Let's take a look now at some of our drivers. There's Bobby Hall. He is our points leader, taking his laps now. Several drivers already complete as we are getting to the end of this run. Do want to say a big thank you to the VFW out in Sayre, Pennsylvania, post number 1536. Thank y'all for sponsoring this race. Appreciate that. Love to have y'all on board. He completes that lap there. See who else is on. Another flex teammate there. Matt Grenier is on the track as well. Looks like he's pulling in. He's finished. Bobby Grady in that 2 truck taking his laps now as well. Drivers have about 30 seconds to complete a lap. Not sure if Bobby's going to be able to get this one done. Him sliding through turn 2 there. Trying to get every bit he can out of it. And that's the time right there. So he was not able to get that done. Let's take a peek at our grid as soon as this resets for me here. There we go. All right, so Bobby Hall is going to get the pole tonight. Chris Phillips in second. Those guys battling for the championship. I believe Chris Phillips is in third, Bobby Hall in first in the points. Mike Allen's going to be our third place starter. Alex Healy, who is second in points, is going to start there in the 4th position. Dan Worthington's going to be in 5th. 6th is going to be Rick Baldwin. Elijah Fisher in 7th. Matt Grenier is going to take 8th. 9th is going to go to Bobby Grady. Nate Brooker is going to get 10th. 11th is going to be Josh Hybaugh. And Alex Foster is going to be in 12th. As we go further through the field here, Dakota Shapper is going to be in 13th. 14th is going to be Isaac Singleton. 15th is going to be Eric Corder. Steven Shue is in 16th. 17th position is going to be Louis Flowers. And John Schuenbachler is in 18th. 19th is going to be Mike Babicek. And Robert Amaral is 20th. 21st is going to be Q. And 22nd is going to be Anthony Lane. 23rd, Thomas Hall. 24th, rounding out our field, is Michael White. So that is your starting grid there. Yeah. All right, so as they get gridded up here, we get ready to go. Let's see, who do we want to talk to pre-race here? I never know what I want to do because it's always going to end up being it's going to be a broadcaster's curse, which nobody wants, of course. So do this right here. Let's see if we can get Alex Healy. Let's find him. And he's going to be... Oh, I don't have him in. Huh. All right, fine. Oh, there he is. Never mind. I'm just blind. I don't know what I'm doing. Alex Matthew in the booth got me.
I've got you, brother.
All right, very good. Well, hey, you're starting fourth. You're second in points. I wanted to talk to you because you got two guys right in front of you that are for points. So, what are we thinking here? Are we going to go hard and try to get past these guys, or are we going to play patience?
I was just talking to my teammates, and they were talking about qualifying and trying to find this little bit of time here and there. Pocono is one of my favorite tracks. Um, you have to be patient. You've got to be good on the long run. You go out here running it like it's a short track and trying to take every little bit you can get right out of the gate. Whether you get it or not, when those tires start falling off and you're still out here for another 15 laps on a 2.6 mile track or whatever this is, you'll be hurting towards the end of that run when the train comes by you. So I don't plan on being that guy. I'm not going to let guys just fly by me either, but just a mix of patience and taking the opportunity when it's there.
Sounds like a good plan. I think we're going to get some long green flag runs here, so it sounds like a good idea to go into the race, and we'll see what happens with it. So we'll be watching you. Good luck out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
All right, so that's Alex Healy in that 97 truck with a new paint this week on the outside of row number 2. Saw his camera there as well. We got a webcam on him so we can see him race throughout the race. We also got one on Scott Millard, and we will keep an eye on those guys and show you as we can. Pace truck is off here. We are about ready to go green. Here we go. Great jump on the outside by the 6 of Chris Phillips. All right, so looking good through one here. Everybody clean and clear. No accidents yet to speak of. Side by side up front. And it looks like the high side is going to prevail for Chris Phillips there for now. There he goes. He's set sail on him a little bit. Kind of some single file up front here, just like Alex was telling us a moment ago. They're going to kind of, most of these guys are just going to kind of feel it out, especially on the first lap here. Just see what we can kind of get, get the tires heated up. And we see Chris Phillips out there with a good lead after one lap. So we'll see if he can put some laps down here and how that's going to affect the long run, as most of the field is kind of spread out a little bit now. Like some side-by-side there between Grady and Grenier. We'll see who's going to prevail from this. This is for the 8th position. As you see the 2-car going by there now. Looks like the inside lane is not as speedy right now, but that could just be the cooler tires and being, you know, that the outside stays a little more wound up here. But we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if the high side or the low side is going to be better, as these guys here are just kind of splitting that now a little bit off the bottom. Go back up front here as you see the 97 hunting that 29 now. All 4 of these top 4 guys are very close to each other. This track has long straightaways, and there's a little bit of a draft. And not a huge draft. We're not at Daytona, but you can definitely, if you stay in the wake of a car, you can definitely get a little bit of pull. So you will see on these straightaways, they will kind of suck up to each other a little bit. As now we see Bobby Grady here in the 2-car. He is making a pass on the 11. 11 and 19 B&G teammates right there, racing together. That's Elijah Fisher and Rick Baldwin. They are nose to tail here. His teammates just kind of working together here, feeling it out. But Bobby Grady goes by. He's up 3 positions from where he started, now in the 6th position. Go back up front as they are still single file out there. And you see that Chris Phillips is kind of dipping to the inside there. He doesn't want Bobby to get any sort of draw off of him, any sort of draft. Here goes Alex Healy to the bottom. Let's see if he can make that work. He is neck and neck, side by side. That outside line is going to prevail off the corner. I think later in the race that line on the bottom there is going to work, but I just think you have to commit, you have to push harder, and slide those tires a little bit more. And I don't think these guys are willing to do that just yet, because this is going to be some long run green flag racing here, and so just not willing to do that yet. Probably going to have to stop twice for tires and fuel tonight if we do stay green the whole way. Now you see Michael Allen there in the 29. He's getting underneath Bobby Hall, and he's got a good run off the corner there on the front stretch. So a little bit of momentum to the outside. We'll see what he can do with it in turn one. Chris Phillips, meanwhile, out front is getting a little bit more of a gap. He likes to see these guys side by side racing each other for position. That gives him a little bit of breathing room, as 94 definitely prevails there going into one. Lots single file, but Alex Healy again looking on the inside there this time. Michael Allen tried the inside, lost a little bit of momentum, and now falling back here to the 97. 97 pushes it through there, makes that pass, slides up, and makes it happen. So put the 97 Alex Healy in third position now, and see what he can do with it from here. Chris Phillips continues to build that lead. Looking back in the field here a little bit, Stephen Shue, Foothills teammates to Chris Phillip up there. He is moving up 3 spots from where he started, currently in 13th. So he's moving through a field a little bit there. See how he's arcing that corner, starting wide, going to the inside, and back out wide. That is a great way to save tires and generate some speed. And you see the gap that he's putting on the truck that he just passed there, the 24. So he's got some speed, and it's just going to take him a little while to get up to the front. And look here, we got Bobby Grady again, actually now falling back to the 11. So he went pretty hard at the beginning, and now he might be kind of suffering a little bit with some heat in the tires. A little crossover here by the 11, see if he can get momentum going into the corner or not. Levin's going to stay a little bit lower than the 2, but not really a momentum builder there. Can't get it done in that corner. Have to draw up behind him and see if he can get a little bit of a draft to get a run going again. Lots of single file racing at this point. Go back out front here. You see Chris Phillips, 0.85. It is the lead now. He is doing great. You see that Wagner Welding sponsor on his truck. His sponsor, Wagner Welding, out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, on that truck every week. And now we're back side by side for second. Oh, we were for a second. Bobby Hall prevails there off the corner. So the 97 and 94 there, you see those two are teammates for second and third, so not going to race each other too hard or do anything crazy at this point in the race. Bobby Grady again side by side with what looks like Elijah Fisher again, trying that inside to make this pass. I think Elijah feels and knows he's a little bit faster than Bobby Grady, but just can't quite make that pass, or just doesn't want to commit to burning up those tires to make the pass happen. Not really worth it at this point in the race anyway. And close to making it, but you see that run off of turn 3, and now it's a drag race down the front stretch, and that advantage is going to go to the outside line of Bobby Grady. Like the 15 and 55, 45 it looks like it is. Nate Brooker there, they're side by side. Nate trying to take a look on that inside. So far, we are not seeing the inside be able to make a pass, so I'm thinking that these guys might be looking now, if you want to make a pass, to let the guy go to the inside and go to the outside of where he's at, so that he can't drive it off the corner up to the wall, take a little speed off him that way. We'll have to see if some drivers try to start doing that, as we are now seeing 94 kind of off pace, got a little loose probably going into that corner. gives up the position to the 97 of Alex Healy. He is now in P2. They are locked bumper to bumper. Meanwhile, Chris Phillips out front there. See him in the bottom of your screen over a second lead. Ten laps in the books. No cautions thus far. Bring up the track map and we can see that the field is not too far apart. Looks like the 33 of John Schulenbachler's had some issue. He's been down pit road, so he is a lap down, but the rest of the field is pretty grouped up here. And Alex Healy now, you see, is gapping the 94, so he's on the hunt, kind of shaving the lead a little bit. It was a second, now it's 8/10, and so he is actually making up a little bit of time on Chris. I got to imagine Chris is out front there just kind of riding for now until somebody gets close, saving tires so that when somebody does get to him, he'll be able to pull back away. Like we got some side-by-side. That's the Bobby Grady there in the 2. He's been doing a lot of racing with guys so far, but now it's the 19 has gotten around the 11, and now the 19 is going to work on the 2 car. See if he can make that pass, because the 11 had not been able to do it yet. They go into this corner. You can see the 19 just staying a little bit higher, but that's not really doing much there. Couldn't get any momentum. And he falls back into clutches of the 11. Going to let him have that position. Again, teammates there racing together, so no, they're not going to fight each other right now. One of them's just trying to get around the 2 so the other can follow through, but it's just not happening yet. So the teams are doing the best they can to work together here, but it is tough sledding so far for those guys. The 2 was fast, and now he's a hard pass, so he will have to. And now just saw this, so this lead is all but gone here. 97, not sure if he's just really pushing or if he's just got it figured out and is got speed, but he is fast on the track right now, making passes. And he did say in his pre-race interview he was just going to try to see what the track gave him and not push it too hard, so I got to imagine he's sticking to that game plan, and it's working great for him this far. Side by side there, let's take a look at that. Michael Allen trying to look inside the 94, can't get that done. Go back up front as this is a pretty close race here. Both of them going all the way down to the line, trying to go the shortest route possible. Now it looks like the 11 is back out inside the 2. See if he can finally get that done. 2's kind of been under fire here for quite some time, but he's holding his own. Now it looks like he goes a little wide there, so the 11 gets around. 19 cannot follow, though. 19's going to have to do it on his own. See that naturallifetx.com sponsor there. One of our league sponsors. They have many herbs, oils, teas, tinctures, CBD products on that website that you can buy, and you can get a 15% discount with code SRN. So go check them out. Shameless plug. Now it looks like the 15 is going to get by the 19. A crossover move there. Ooh, little bump. I don't think the 19 realized that the 15 was going to stay so far off the wall. See how this goes through the corner here. Let's go back up front because Alex Healy is absolutely on his bumper, diving inside for the lead. The 6 goes wide. I think he maybe just knew he was faster. Ooh, little crossover action here incoming. Nope, not going to make that. So give the lead to Alex Healy. Started 4th, went up 3 positions, doing a great job so far. Great run for him. We're probably about halfway through this fuel run, I would say. So he's looking pretty strong. Let's see if he can gap Chris Phillips at all, or if he's kind of used all the goodie out of them tires trying to get up those positions. Six is hanging with him very tight, not giving him much room, maybe a truck length at this point. Now you see the 94 is coming into the picture again, so not sure if Phillips there, used up some tires, but not as fast paced as he was as this run goes on. And you see Alex Healy there, he's just bobbing and weaving, trying to avoid the draft. And Chris Phillips actually, when coming back up with Alex, kind of scraped the wall a little bit. Don't think that's going to hurt him any. And I just caught out of the corner of my eye there. It looks like the 113 is trying to get around the 29 as well. He looked inside, he looked outside, but couldn't get the run, unfortunately. Rundown. Okay, well, we got on the leaderboard there. We're working turn 3. The leaders are right here. Alex Healy is in the lead. Chris Phillips, you see there in second. He is the 6th car. Bobby Hall is in third there. 29 is Allen. He is in the 4th position. 5 is Dan Worthington. You see him right there at the bottom of your screen. As we go through the field, we've kind of covered Elijah Fisher in the 11. He's gotten past the 2 of Bobby Grady now. So Elijah Fisher is in the 6th position. And you see now the 7 of Isaac Singleton and the 15 of Matt Grenier going at it there, trying to battle for 9th. Rick Baldwin in 19, he is behind them in the 10th position. So that rounds out your top 10. Then we got a little bit of a gap here. Stephen Shue, we talked about him a little bit earlier. He's now up 5 positions from where he started. He's in 11th. Nate Brooker behind that a little bit further. We got about 3 trucks there that are the 45, 24, and the 41. Nate Brooker, Alex Foster, and Joshua Highball. Go back up front. Looks like the 94, while we were going through the field a little bit there, 94 got around the 6 of Chris Phillips, so he's in the 2nd position. 2 Flex Motorsports guys are out front right now, and it looks like the 94 is catching the 97. So 94 took the pole, fell back a little bit, and now coming back, so I think he was just taking care of his tires, and let's see if he can finish this run out strong here, as we probably got 12 to 14 laps left on this fuel run. Very tight racing here at the top 5, and you see also while we went through the field there, the 113 of Dan Worthington got around the 29 of Mike Allen. Now he is looking to the inside there. Looks like we may have our first 3 wide action right there. The 94 kind of gets out front. Everybody gets that sorted out. I think as this run goes on, we're seeing the aggression kind of pick up. No more tire saving. We're going to try to jockey for position until we got a pit. Looks like the 94 is going to make that pass. See if he can make that stick. Momentum on the outside. 97 not clear. And they're going to leave the 94 there, but teammate of the 113 goes down with him. Side by side, 2 deep for the lead. This is the kind of action we love at Pocono. There's so much space to run, and the 6 is just pushing the 97 down the straightaway there. Coming into turn 3 for the front stretch. 97 gets a good run. 6 car going to get momentum off, but is definitely back to the 3rd position now as we see the 11 of Elijah Fisher pulling into pit road. That is probably a scheduled pit stop, but maybe a little bit early. He may be trying to set this race into segments. So he's going to be the first one to pit. Eric Corder also in pit road. I'll keep you up to date on who's pitting and when, but we will stay on the lead battle here. 97 is not going away. Alex Healy is still right there with him. Ooh, it looked like Alex may have clipped the wall a little bit there or had to avoid it. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Let's take a look as we are focused here on Alex Healy. Let's go back and take a look at that driver cam again. He's sitting there chatting with his team. He's got a teammate out front and a teammate behind, so I'm wondering if they're just kind of talking about what line they're going to run, what they're going to do. As you see, the 113, also a Flex teammate. He's getting around the 6 car. So now Flex Motorsports is 1, 2, 3 in this race right now. And I got to say, he looks pretty calm in that seat there. Looks like he's not doing too bad at all. So nice, calm, looking clean. Now he's going for a pass there. I did hear another driver, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on pit road. 19, 2, 0, 7, and 79 were all on pit road. So now you see the 113 getting around 97. Didn't have the greatest of corners. So I think we're starting to see now we got the 29, Mike Allen, Nate Brooker, Dakota Shepard, Anthony Lane. All of these guys are on pit road now. So they are all we're 22 laps in, and these guys are starting to hit the pits. Ooh, as Chris Phillips, you see there, clips the wall. Don't think that's going to damage the truck too bad, but going to cost him quite a bit of speed down this straight here. Dan Worthington has gotten up to the 2nd position as well. He is fast right now. With that kind of speed, I got to imagine he doesn't want to pit until he has to. But I'll tell you what, the lap times have got to be completely different for these guys. You're running let's see, somebody who's been on pit road, Elijah Fisher at a 53.94 his last lap. The leaders are running 55.6, so a second and a half slower per lap. So I got to imagine these guys are going to want to come in as soon as possible. As Alex Healy now is in pit road, so he dips off. He's on pit road. These two leaders still going at it here. This is going to cost them a little bit of time on the back end, but they do have a couple of seconds to these guys that are behind them. So a couple of laps, second and a half a lap, this could cycle them back to 3rd, 4th the longer they stay out here. We'll see how this strategy plays out. Okay, 113 has announced he's pitting. 94 is pitting with him. Teammates obviously going to come together. And it looks like the top 4, Chris Phillips is coming in as well with the 15, and the 00, who was scored all the way up in 5th, is now going to come in as well. This is going to most likely cycle the lead to the 55 of Mike Babinchek, but he is going to come in also with his teammate there, Michael White. They're both going to come in, and this could mean... We'll see where this comes out, but this looks like the 11 seems like he was the one that pitted first, and he may cycle through to the lead. Now, he's going to have older tires by, I didn't count, but maybe 4 laps or so. So we'll have to see how that plays out and how his tires wear earlier than the other cars. But there you go. He is out to the lead. And I'm trying to look now. 7 car is the last car on the lead lap, so he is not for position, but I'm sure Elijah will gladly take his draft to keep his speed up. So now Alex Healy was one of our early pit calls as well. He is in the 2nd position, but he is 4 seconds behind Elijah. So we'll see how long does it take for Alex Healy to catch up. In 4th position, that's Bobby Hall right there. He's in 3rd position. Looks like he just passed the 29 there. He is 4.5 seconds off. He's about 3/4 of a second from Healy. You see him out front there. So great pit stop on and off by Healy to regain that position on his teammate. We'll have to see here. We got Fisher out front. Was a 4-second lead, under 3.5 now, so definitely a speed difference. So if we have to pit, everyone has pit now by lap 25. So somewhere between lap, ooh man, the 11 car gets loose right there. So everyone has to pit between 20 and 25. Now what Fisher did was he pitted at 20 figure, and he's going to pit at 20, 40, 60, and he's going to run 4 20 lap runs and keep fresher tires to these guys that are going to run 25, 50, 75, and then have 5 left. So these guys will have fresher tires in a short run at the end, but they're not going to have as much time on fresher tires as the 11 will. So this could play out very well for the 11. Just going to be a back and forth kind of game here. You know, I would assume on this run, Elijah's going to lose the lead, come back in at like lap 40, and, you know, cycle back a lap down, and then everyone else will cycle through. So this is going to be a little bit leapfrog. This is some of the interesting, intricate things about long green flag run racing, and, you know, saving tires and when do I pit, and strategy comes into it, rather than when you have a lot of cautions and strategies taken out as just shorter sprint racing. So this is, for me personally, this is a lot more entertaining and fun to see who can do this the best. Elijah's still hanging out behind that 7. He's got a 2.8 second lead. As we see there, the 94 is definitely catching the 97, so he is shortening that gap up, and as soon as Elijah does have to pit earlier than this guy, this will be for the lead. Looks like a lap car there at 33, so 97 is going to try to get by here in this corner. To be able to make that happen, and now the 94 is going to try to follow on through, but he's cutting him off the corner, which is going to cost a little bit of time. You see there, Alex Healy likes that, gives him a little bit of breathing room. 113 of Dan Worthington now trying to go inside on the 29 of Mike Allen. And still got that lap car, see if he can use him as a pick. Not able to keep that momentum, so he drops in behind him, and sees, and they'll probably both be able to get the lap car at this point. 113 not able to dive in there with him, so he'll wait for the next corner. Elijah Fisher still out front, gets around that 7 now, still a 2.5 second lead. As you now can see in the picture there, the guys behind him of 2.5 seconds back. Now he has gone for, he's gotten about a 10th or 2 back now, just getting around that 7. So 7 was kind of holding him up a little bit. He makes that pass and is holding pretty good on the 2.5 second mark. Back to this, it looks like Ely here is doing great, getting a little bit of a gap here to the 94. He's got some good breathing room, trying to track down this 11 car, but tires have kind of equalized now. They're in that sweet spot where, you know, Elijah's might be worn, you know, 10% more, but they're between, you know, 20% and 30%, and it's not a huge difference. We'll wait here to see if his tires do start to fall off, and when that happens. Go back in the field here, you see Rick Baldwin in the 19 in the white truck on the outside. Chris Phillips on the inside, going to take that position. So Chris Phillips is now in the 6th position. And Baldwin's hanging pretty tough there, but I think that they're pretty evenly matched, so the 6 should be able to stay out there. Trying to look through the field. Don't see a whole lot. Got Lewis Flowers right there in the 62. Dakota Shepard in the 101 in front of him. And he is definitely catching him. Gonna try to look to the inside on the straight. Nope, doesn't really have the run. Go on board with Flowers and see what it looks like from his seat as he's trying to make this pass. Let's go back and see if he can make it. It's going to slide up the track a little bit there on the 101. No, actually held that bottom pretty tight. Thought for sure he'd go up and shut that door, but didn't have to. Makes the pass. And this is for the 15th position we're looking at here. Rick Baldwin now under fire from the 15 of Matt Grenier. Let's do the roll bar here on Grenier, see what he sees inside that truck there. From the passenger seat, see if he takes the same line. Wheels pretty steady, doesn't look like it's too loose. Track's got plenty of grip. There, he's got a good run. He's going to look to the inside there. See if he can make that happen. There you go. So in turn 2, Matt Grenier is now in the 7th position. And look back at Elijah Fisher in the 11 with the lead, but it is down to 1.7 now. So about 3/4 of a second has been shaved off there. That 7 car of Isaac Singleton's hanging tough with him. He's first car lap down. So if we get a caution, he is going to be our lucky dog, and that is why he is racing that 11 so hard. Back here is Dan Worthington and Michael Allen side by side, allowing Chris Phillips to close the gap and get to both of them. Chris is going to be on the outside of Michael Allen here. See if he can make that happen up high, side by side in that corner. Can't quite make the pass just yet there. Has to kind of settle back and try again. All the way up on that bumper now. See what he's going to do going into turn 1. If he's going to dive in, there he goes. He's announcing his move right now. They're going to be side by side off the corner. See who's going to prevail here. If Chris can stay on the inside, he's going to probably have preferred line, but he can't. The momentum is on the outside, and he's got to fall back in line again. So on lap 34 here, Elijah Fisher still in the lead by a 1.5 seconds. And he's probably going to pit in about, I'd say, 6 to 8 laps. He's going to be back on pit road, and you see just behind him right there, Alex Healy in the 2nd position has a good gap to the 3rd place of Bobby Hall. So these guys out front are getting a little bit spread out now the longer this race goes. Chris Phillips still trying on Mike Allen there. It's a good run off. Not sure if he's going to be able to dip in. We'll see. He's going to try it. And neck off. But momentum goes to the outside again. And you see that this is just bringing the 15 into the picture. Back out front, down to almost 1 second now. We'll stay up here at the lead for a second. We'll watch and see how this kind of progresses with the incoming pit stops. Elijah's looking good. Again, on that short pit strategy, but he is under a second lead now with probably 4 to 6 laps before he pits. So we will see when he decides to come in. 94 now, you see, has caught the 97 again. So if they get to battling, this is really going to help the 11 stay out front. And now you really see, so this is where the tires are definitely making a difference. This is down to half a second now, and Elijah's tires are just kind of going away a little bit. They're a little bit, you know, like I said earlier, they're about 4 to 5 laps older. He's going to pit a little bit sooner, but still, this is going to be a net gain for him. He was, I want to say 8 to 10 when he decided to make this strategy move, and so, you know, even if he pits and he's in third, that is a 5 position gain, so it still has worked out really good for him. I would bet that there's going to be a couple other drivers that are going to do it with him. And there you go, right there. So at lap 37, he's going to pull off. This is a little bit earlier than even last time. So short pitting again to try to get that, but this is going to give the lead to, it's Bobby Hall right now, but these guys are neck and neck for the lead. Let's see how this corner goes. 97 has advantage in the beginning, but through the middle of that corner and off, give advantage to 94. He's going to pull ahead here. And there you go, pass complete. Bobby Hall back in the lead. Once again, Flex Motorsports 1, 2, 3. You just saw for a second there, back in the back of your screen, go to Chris Phillips there in the 4th position, but he is about a second and a half almost behind 3rd place. A few more guys coming onto pit road. Looks like Rick Baldwin, who is teammates with Elijah Fisher in this league. He is pitting as well. Bobby Grady in the 241 is Josh Highbaugh, all pitting right now. So these guys are seeing Elijah do it. They see it work, and they are adjusting strategy. So we'll see how much longer Bobby Hall and Alex Healy, Dan Worthington, let's see how much longer these guys want to stay out. They're racing pretty hard here. They're very close to each other. So the battle is on. But these guys, just for reference, the best lap that Bobby Hall has had was a 53.72. Last lap is a 55.32. So again, second and a half off of the fast lap. And I got to imagine that is not going to pay off to stay out on a long run. As you do see, though, that the 94 now is pulling out a little bit from these guys. This is for 4th position here. These two guys have been going at it for a few laps now. It's so hard to get that run, and you can get the run like that, and then if he dips to the inside, he'll get side by side going into the corner, but these corners are so long, so wide, that it's just hard to keep that momentum. So Chris Phillips has just announced that he is pitting. He will be pitting right there in the 94. Let's see if he pits as well. Doesn't look like it. He's going wide. There you see the 6 in the top of your screen. He's pulling off. These guys are going to go a few more laps. I can't imagine they're going to do more than 2 or 3 more. And Chris Phillips, the only one to pit on that lap. '97 pulled low there. Must have kind of got loose off the corner or something. I missed that, but have to see. 55 of Mike Babinchek, mascot Mike, is in the pits as well. Doesn't look like he's good, but Alex Healy is peeling off, so he is not doing the same thing that his flex teammates is doing. He's going to pit a little bit earlier here. That may net him some time over Dan and Bobby. Trying to look through Alex Healy on pit road. Nobody else at this point is on pit road. Elijah Fisher right now, first to pit, is in the 15th position. So quite a few trucks that still need to pit. Just heard somebody announce they are pitting. What couldn't quite hear who that was. Keep an eye out here. 7 is pitting there, but these guys continue to go. Last lap for our leader here, the 94, was a 55.18. So Mike Allen in the 29, Nate Brooker in the 45. These guys are both on pit road this time. We saw the 7 pit. I got to imagine these guys are coming in this time. They are hanging out there for quite a while. This is now five laps more than Elijah. And you see 113 diving in here in turn 3. So they are not going to pit this time. And the 11 is up to 11th as these guys are going. So the 15 of Matt Grenier, the 01 of Jeff Ledford, the 24 of Alex Foster, all on pit road now. They were in fourth, fifth, and sixth. So, or third, fourth, and fifth. Sorry. So they are now in the pits, and these two, along with Steven Shu in the 00. Now he's off a little ways. He's back here, but these are the trucks that have not pit yet. 113 just announced he is pitting this time, so I got to imagine the 94 is going to go with them as they are teammates, probably talking in team channel. And 94 is staying out. Okay, well, so 94, Bobby Hall staying out for the time being. Dan Worthington on pit road. Put Steven Shu in the second position. Also still needs to pit, running long here. Even with these times, guys are still going to have to pit a third time. So I'm not sure that this is going to pay off. But you see Elijah Fisher now on the tower in the 6th position. The two guys in front of him are in the pits. He's going to get around them. So he will be in the 4th position. There he goes. Bobby Hall still needs to pit, but has almost a 9-second lead. Now you see him low. Got to imagine. There he goes. He's coming in now at lap 45. We are past halfway, 2 pit stops deep, no cautions, and some great racing so far. Let's see, Steven Shu is going to stay out another lap. He is now our leader for the time being. '79, there is a lap car, so currently scored the first car a lap down in the 18th position. 00 has just announced he is pitting, so we'll see Steven Shu come down. Looks like the 62 is still out there. The lead may cycle to him now. And Elijah Fisher is in 3rd. So as soon as that 62 here pits, Elijah will be back up front. Looking at the board right now, has about a 2-second lead on Healy. So if you remember from the last pit stop, Fisher ended up with about a 4-second lead. This time it's only going to be 2, so it's going to be a little bit tighter racing here. There goes the 62 on pit road. give the lead back to Elijah Fisher. Right, there we go. Officially back in the lead. So 2.18 seconds at the moment. Nice little lead there. You saw the gap back. And after that whole exchange, you know, it was about a half a second. Fisher exited or decided to go to the pits on this with about a half-second lead over Bobby Hall. Now a 5.7 second lead over Bobby Hall. So you see what staying out there longer is done. So this definitely the correct strategy. These guys will definitely be pitting one more time, and we will take a look and see when they decide to do that. Alex Healy back here in second. Chris Phillips is in third right there. So again, the 7 is a lap vehicle. He is the first truck a lap down, so he's going to try to stick with him as much as he can. That 7 truck is battling the 54 there of Scott Millard. So he is battling for position for a lucky dog. Should we get a caution, you see there's Scott Millard right there in his race sim. Doesn't look like it's getting to him. He's nice and poised, looking calm. Doing a great job. Alex Healy now has the lead back to, down to, I should say, 1.6 seconds, but he is getting pressure from Chris Phillips. So as that battle heats up, that should give a little bit of relief to the 11 if they really get to racing here. Just for the second position. Chris Phillips not able to get up there, not able to get it now. It might not be pushing the issue, knowing that these tires are going to fall off pretty hard. Take a look back here. So Steven Shue, who stayed out just in front of the 01 there as we got our first caution. Let's take a look at what happened here. Saw some smoke on the track just up in front there. But I don't really see what it is that happened. So it looks like actually Scott Millard may have had an issue, but it's not popping up for me. He is just kind of off pace already there. Something's wrong. His left front is damaged for sure going into the pits. Fortunately, we don't have that actual thing of what happened there, so can't really say what it was, but I can see his right front fender's gone. The tire's ambered out, so he definitely has some issues there. So this is going to be interesting. Now we have 30 laps to go. These guys are going to have to decide, are we going to pit now? Are we going to stay out? What are we going to do here? Elijah's got a little bit older tires, so he's been out there for, he pitted on 37, so he's been out there for 13 laps, which is only about half a run, so doesn't need to pit at this point. Not sure, I don't even think they can get a full 30 laps, so the decision here might be to stay out. Take a look on our entry as these trucks are about to come by and see who's going to come in and who's not. Leaders coming in. 113, Dan Worthington stays out. A couple of trucks staying out there. These are the guys that had pitted late, though. You see the 62, the 00. Those guys pitted really late. And so they don't have but maybe 6-7 laps on their tires, so they're going to go ahead and stay out, get the track position back. That may be a great break for these guys, but there's only 2 lead lap cars that stayed out, so we'll have to see how their tires react. As Mike Allen is going to get the race off pit road with Elijah Fisher second, 97.615. 19 after that. So older tires are going to make up the inside and outside row here. So easy when you have a little bit worn tires to spin the tires, but they don't have a whole lot of laps, so they should be able to keep it under them. There's going to be a question of whether they can get up to speed as fast as these new tires can, and whether or not they're gonna get, shuffled back pretty quickly, or if they're going to be able to hold it. We'll have to see. Does look like it's showing now the 53 and 29. I don't know if the 20 or the 53 pit, so okay, so race control has made a call here. The 54 that we saw going on to pit road of Scott Millard, he came down the track, hit the 94 of Bobby Hall. That's our points leader. Bobby Hall spun, and so that is going to be a tough break for the 94. Now shown in the 19th position. Gonna have some work to do to get back up there, but a very fast truck he's got today, so I would not doubt for a second that he will be back in the mix here before this is over, with 28 laps to go. See these guys fanned out all over the place. Lights are off on the truck, so they do have 1 to go. If we can talk to our leader right now as they... Dan Matthew in the booth, you got me?
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Well, stayed out here. You only had a few laps on the tires, right? So you feel like they're still going to be strong, going to stay up there?
We're going to give it a try. We're going to try something different. Oh, well.
I mean, definitely got your track position. We'll see if it's going to be a net gain or not. Time will tell, but not too many tires, so give her hell.
Yeah, we're going to try, man.
All right, good luck. We'll be watching.
Appreciate it.
Right, so he didn't seem ultra confident about it, but he got himself track position. So we'll see what he can do as we are in turn 2. This is where we're going to see intensity pick up a little bit. I don't think these guys are, gonna wait here. These guys see that the top 2-3 don't have fresh tires, so they are definitely going to be trying to get by them quickly. And you're going to see guys from 10th back that have to make a move on this run, so that the last run, they're in a position to get a top 5, to get up there in a high finishing position. So I think patience is going to kind of go out the window, so to speak, at this point. There we go, under green. The 113 got a great jump there. And so he's going to be out front handily. Nobody spun the tires. Everything looks very clean. 00 is going to go into that corner pretty high, arcing. Try to keep that momentum to clear the 53. Probably going to be able to do that. You see the 11 there, probably the first one on fresh tires at this point. Currently in P4. Double zero gets clear, 113 very clear. Now the 11 gets past the 54, so 54 there is kind of, 53 is kind of fading back a little bit. And we got another caution here, like Anthony Lane. This one it's showing me. Let's take a look. Well, 94 was just a little bit off pace. 82 got in there hot, and oh yeah, he probably would have been able to save that, but Clipped Car unfortunately took the 70 with him. And there you have it, our second caution. You know what they say, cautions breed cautions. So we'll try this again. I'm going to take a moment before we try to interview anybody. I want to wait and see if these guys are going to pit this time or not, because now they're kind of in a box here. It may be that this is on the cusp of, 26 to go. We haven't seen anybody go more than 25, so this may be on the very edge. If these guys pit now, everybody else has to pit after, especially if it's under caution. This is going to play out great for the 00 and the 113, but let's see what they do. So they'll work around turn 3 here, and then we will see who's going to pit and who's not. Let's actually go on to our pit lane cam so we can see who makes what decision. None of the guys that already pit are probably coming in at this point. Now, they may come in, take a top off so they can make it to the end. Lots of strategies that they can use at this point. 113 stays out, 00 comes in, 11 back in. So a couple guys topping off here who already took tires. Going to be able to make it the rest of the way, but Dan Worthington stays out, and the 53 of Michael White stays out. So those two guys are still staying out and are definitely going to have to pit again. We'll check the race off of pit road, but you can see there's at least 10 cars that stayed out. There's the 11 first off. Obviously, these guys are just topping off. 00 right there, he had to take tires, so obviously he's going to cycle back a little bit. Go back up front here to the two trucks that have not pit yet. So Steven Shu in the 00 cycles back to 18th at this time, but he does have fresh tires. Now, the other guys only have, call it a lap and a half on their tires, but hey, every little bit counts. Everything scrubs off a little bit of speed, so maybe he can have some late run speed here. All right, we'll probably get one to go. I think that the 113, the 53, I got to imagine at this point they could have made it the rest of the way. Everybody else kind of topped off. Might have been the right call to come in at this point, but ooh, it's tough. Never know. If they do get another caution quickly, they can pit and go back, just like Steven Shu just did. Go back to 16th through 18th, maybe somewhere in there, and then have much fresher tires than some of these guys and burn through the field. But are they going to have enough time to come all the way back to the front? That's the question. The first car that came out after topping off was the 11, but it looks like he is back on pit road in 21st, so I gotta imagine that's a speeding penalty of some sort. Fortunate for him. I think that kind of means that the 19, I want to say the 19 of Rick Baldwin, you see the white truck on the outside there. I think he's going to be the first car that topped off. So anyways, it's going to be, I think most of these guys can make it at this point, except for the top 2. We're at the point right now where we haven't seen anybody go any longer than that, 25 laps. So it'll be interesting to see if with the caution these guys can elongate that run a little bit, or if they were kind of short pitting just because of tires earlier. We get this thing back under green. 113 again with a great jump. See the 97 there kind of changing lanes to get the preferred line going into the corner. 53 is going to go towards the bottom. 53 does not have the fresh tires though, so he's going to fall back there a little bit. 97 does have fresher tires, so we'll see if he can get around the 113 pretty quickly here. I know he would like to do that so he can get a little bit of a buffer between some of these faster trucks and him. 53 is very loose on them older tires you see back there. Still trying to hang on as long as he can though. Really low on the track there for the 53. 113 doing a great job. I mean, he's got almost half a second lead already on them older tires, so doing a great job. And he's got Alex Healy there with slightly fresher tires, so he's doing a great job keeping it out front here. As you see Brooker on the inside there trying to get around that 53. 53 goes pretty high there. Gotta imagine Brooker will be able to finish this. Side by side, should be able to get it into the next corner. Can't quite get it done though, so 53 hanging tough as well. So kind of hanging in the lead there at half a second or just shy of for the leader there. Brooker still trying to work on this 53. Not get the job done, and now that brings the 15 into the mix to see if he can get through as well. He's got to pick a lane though. Who's he going to go with? Neither one of these guys able to prevail over the other. 45 kind of slides up the track a little bit there, but avoids the contact. Side by side here going into 2. This should give advantage to the 45 here. This is a high speed corner that you definitely want to be on the inside. And there it is. It looks like he's going to get it, and the 15 is going to have great momentum off of this one as well. And three trucks lined up. 19 pushing the 15 through. They all want to get around this guy as quick as possible, and now the freight train kind of happens. It's inevitable when you have a little bit older tires. But the 19 can't quite make it happen yet. Go back out front, still about a 0.4 of a second lead. And Bobby Hall from 18th or so, when he restarted all the way back up to 10th, I knew he was going to be back in it. 21 laps to go. He's got plenty of time. Almost 7/10 of a lead now, so 113 hanging really well with those tires. That's crazy. Great job by him. 97 has got a good gap behind him though, so he can just focus eyes forward. Racing back here for sure, jockeying around that 53, kind of bottling people up. You see the 19's gotten by now. 2 car looking inside the 6. See if he can make that pass going into 1. Side by side, you got to imagine the 6 car is going to have the momentum off, but the 53 is going to kind of block him off. Car looking to use the 53 as a pick, and Chris Phillips is not going to lift for that. He's going to have to push him down the straightaway. That 6 car gets a little bit wide, but still holds onto it, doesn't hit the wall. That is a tough corner to go through the outside. It's so easy to smack that outside wall, but does a great job of keeping it off and keeping momentum side by side still. This is the long straightaway, and it looks like the 6 has momentum. He's squeezing him as hard as he can without wrecking him, just trying to take that air off. And these guys, nobody's going to give at this point. 19 laps to go. Can't give an inch at this point. And I know they wish that 53 wasn't there. Here comes the crossover, so this is gonna solidify this pass. And the 6 is definitely gonna get through. The 2 is gonna get through. 53 kind of clips the wall a little bit. That's gonna let the 94 and the 00 get through as well. Look at Bobby Hall up to 9th now in the mix. And this is getting kind of dicey here. This 53 is a little bit off pace. Has to get out of it. Wise decision. He's got older tires. These guys are kind of jockeying for position around him, and that was going to cause a caution if he didn't do so. So heads up sportsmanship from him. Doesn't want to wreck anybody, ruin anybody's race. Meanwhile, back up front, you see Healy is now catching the 113. Those tires are starting to show the difference here. $113 just announced he is going to pit this time. Very interesting. So he's going to have to give that up. Healy is going to be the leader. And look at Brooker. Now the 45 truck you see there now in second, up 8 positions from where he started. So great run from him in P2. Matt Grenier is in third. And Rick Baldwin is making his way through, but now under fire from the 6. Oh, there goes Chris to the bottom. See what he can do with it. Turn 2, you definitely want to be on the bottom, as I said earlier. Neck and neck there. Chris is still going to have the preferred line in this corner. And see, just having to go high there is not going to cost Rick 1, but it's going to cost 2. Oh, and the 94 slides up. That easily could have been a hook into the wall for Bobby Hall, but Rick took it easy on him there and didn't turn him. And for that, he's going to get passed by the 00 as well, unfortunately. Now he's fighting tough pretty hard out there. He's going to try not to let that 00 by. And he is clear now, so he can take the preferred line into the corner. Kind of settle back in and see what he can do. Meanwhile, out front, Alex Healy still has a good lead, but it is dwindling a little bit down to about 3/10 now. We cross now. We got 15 laps to go. Plenty of time left in this race at this big track. Now up to 4/10, so good lap there for Healy. Stretching it out a little bit more. Take a look back here. Looks like Michael Allen working on that 7 car of Isaac Singleton. Take a peek at Thomas Hall in the 93. Haven't really mentioned his name much tonight, but having a great run. He's in 14th, up 9 from where he started. Also, Jeff Ledford in that 01 is up 14 positions from where he started, now in P12. Back down to 3/10 here. Kind of back and forth they go. Just depends on who hits the corner just right. Now you see that 97 kind of just with a little bit of a slide. That allows both of these guys to catch up. The 15 is on a run right now. He's made up a lot of ground over the last lap and a half or so. And you see that 97 just going inside to outside, trying to break the draft. "13 laps now, and the race is on. 45 just needs to stay calm. I think he's got a little bit better tires. Might be able to get this done if he can just hit his lines, but it's hard to do when you got that 15 breathing down your neck as well. If he didn't have that 15 behind him, he could definitely focus eyes front, but he's got to protect the line now so he doesn't get past as well. That's going to hinder him trying to dive in too, because you don't want to dive to the bottom, lose momentum, and have that 15 go to your outside and then end up losing the spot. As you see him get a little bit loose there, backing up to the 15. Laps now. Big runs for anybody here looking through the field. I don't see any major battles. Look at Chris Phillips there. It looks like the 19 of Rick Baldwin has gotten back by him. So now Baldwin's going to take a look and see if he can catch back up to the 94. Rick Baldwin is now in the 5th position. Looks to the inside, but can't quite get it done there for the 6. So he's battling back, seeing what he can do. Take a look back out front. Not much of a change. Looks like the 15 has dropped off just a little bit. 45 has as well, so Alex Healy looking good. Looks like the 45 of Brooker just announced he is going to pit. The 45 has to pit. That's going to give Alex Healy even more breathing room as we come to 10 to go. '29 Michael Allen just that he is pitting as well. That's going to be out of the 10th position. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, I said earlier, they are on the cusp of the amount of laps that they can run. So we'll see if everybody's going to have to pit here, or only some, or maybe the guys that topped off are still good. We'll have to take a look. We'll watch and see how this plays out. As with these guys pitting, go back early leader that we had, Elijah Fisher. He is now scored in the 14th position after that penalty, taking him back to like 18th to 20th, somewhere in there. So he's made up a bunch of spots from there, but still a bunch of work to do. Chris Phillips and Rick Baldwin continue to go at it. Chris has the inside here going into turn 1. And give advantage to Chris Phillips in the 6th car. So he's got that position back, and we are under caution. Let's see what happened here. Like Scott Millard, Nate Brooker, maybe. Here, let's take a look here. Yeah, Brooker just came up, and I don't know if he thought he was going to go to the wall or just kind of slid because he was just too too fast, too hard. New tires as well for him. Remember, he just pitted, so might have just not had that truck under him yet, and that brings out our third caution. What are people going to do now? If you're out front, you know, if you're Alex Healy, this is a terrible feeling. This is not what you wanted to see at all, because now he's got to make a decision, and whatever he does, the people behind him are not going to do. So he is in a tough spot at this point. Kind of wait and see here and what is going to happen. Like Mascot Mike in the 55 is our first truck a lap down, so he'll probably get his lap back, see what he can make up on the back end. This just resets everything, so the guys that don't come in are definitely going to have older tires at this point. I got to imagine, let's say we go back to green with 6 laps, I want tires. And if I'm Alex Healy, I'm pitting. I know some guys are going to stay out that are a little bit further back for track position, but with 6 laps, I got a lot of time. So, and I got to imagine most people, if he goes in, most people will follow. As they work around 3, we'll go to our pit lane cam to see who's going to come in and who's not. What's it going to be? Healy pitting, everybody pitting. Look at that. Yeah, it's just the tires have too much fall off. Those are a couple lap cars that go by, it looks like. So everybody pitting from the lead lap. Look, Elijah Fisher stayed out. Now, when he had to come down for that penalty, he probably got tires. It was a little bit fresher. Now, he's in 14th position, right? So now he's in first. Even if he falls back in these 6 laps, let's say 6th, 7th, that is still a huge net gain for him. So this is all he could really do right here. Bobby Hall gets off first. There you have it. So, Elijah Fisher back to the front. So Lane is out front there in the 82. I think he's waiting for a wave around. So when we get one to go, he'll get the wave around there, and he will be out of the way for these guys. Michael Allen, Eric Corder, Shepard, these guys are all, I believe, stayed out, and they will also have a little bit older tires, but that's good for Elijah. That's going to give a little bit of a buffer before these guys with new tires get to him. Gotta imagine we're getting one to go here. So, lights are off the pace car. See the 82 go around. Okay, so it looks like, just listening to some radio chatter here, the 11 of Fisher has chosen the outside lane. So he is going to start from the outside, which that's probably good for him. Now, on a big track like this with a long straightaway to begin with, he's going to most likely get the jump anyways. But this makes it so that regardless of his start, he doesn't have to change lanes to get that preferred arc into the corner. So this is going to work out pretty good for him. I think it's good that he's able to make that decision. It's probably a good call. Just makes it a little bit easier for the restart, especially since he's going to have older tires. He needs every second he can get right now, and this should play out. But it's going to be 5 laps to go when we get green. It's a long time. These guys got tires, and they're going to be coming through. I think it's Baldwin, Hall. We'll have to see what these guys can do getting through. And Healy, he was leading before, so we know he's got a fast truck. I think Baldwin might have taken 2 because he came up a few spots, so he may be faster, but on 2 tires it's going to be a lot looser, so it's going to drive a lot different for him. See the 29 kind of hanging back a little bit. That's exactly what Fisher wants to see. Green flag in the air. He gets a great jump. Now let's see who's going to come through this field and who's going to challenge him. Kind of jockeying for position there in the back. Elijah dips into that corner exactly like he wanted to do. Has a great lead already. So that outside line definitely paid off for him. 101 and 29, I believe, stayed out. So they are side by side in the way of all of these guys trying to come through. Still a great lead there. They get it sorted out, but you see the 19 truck, he's got fresh tires. He's trying to come through these guys, but they're still side by side racing for it. This is exactly what Fisher wants to see. Side by side behind him. This is going to slow the entire field down. And we got a caution again. I see the 55 spinning back there. Looks like the 55 and 62 got together. Of course, they're not going to flag that, but we saw that live. 62 just went down the track and hooked the 55, so that's probably going to be an EOL for the 62. 55 looked like it hit pretty hard, so that's not going to be good for him. But this is exactly what Elijah Fisher wants to see. Now we're running laps under caution, equalizing the tires, right? Now these guys that got fresh tires, they've kind of scrubbed the goodie off of them a little bit, and now he's going to get a green-white checker, and this is definitely playing into his hands because he's still got the 29 and the 101 between him and fresh tires. I kind of want to interview him, but I kind of don't want to. I don't want the broadcaster curse. I kind of want to leave him alone and let him work. I think I'm gonna let him work here on a green-white checker. I'm not gonna bother him. Let them do their thing. I didn't see anybody dip into the pits. I wouldn't imagine anybody would unless they had damage. So lots of green flag run earlier to set this whole thing up, and now we got a few cautions, so things are changing, shuffling around. Elijah has announced that he is going to take the high side again. Why wouldn't you? It worked out great last time. The last time, the 29 there kind of hang back a little bit. I wonder if he's going to do that again, or if he's going to try to stay up side by side, because if he can get a good jump and he can stay to his inside, he may not be able to hold off Elijah around that corner, but definitely going to give him the preferred line for anybody behind him, kind of cutting off the 101 or the 19 jumping around him. Now with the 19, he's going to line up in P4 outside second row behind Elijah. So if he gets a good jump too, remember he's got fresh tires, at least 2 of them, we know that much. and he's going to be able to run around that outside pretty quick as well. So I would look for the 19 to be pretty competitive here on this one as well. And we do not have one to go yet. That's kind of odd. I thought we would get that, but all right. So since we have some extra time, Rick Matthew in the booth got me.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, bud. Okay, so you're starting outside second row, and
Yes.
you got your teammate there in front of you. He's going to get a good jump. How do you like your chances here?
I like my chances, but I asked him if he wanted to count off his restart, and he said I'll think about it. So,
Oh no!
I know Elijah. I know Elijah wants to win the race here, but
Yeah.
I got fresher tires, so I'm going to try to do my best. I got Alex Healy behind me, Chris Phillips, Jeffrey Ledford, all shown speed. So, it's
Yeah, now,
anyone's race.
Did you take 2 or 4 tires?
I took 2 tires.
That's what
to
I
try to
thought.
preserve
All
this
right.
race. Yeah.
I just wanted to verify because I said it on broadcast. I think that's what you did. Good. Okay, so you got 2. You've got you're the highest of the fresh tires. You got a shot. I can't blame him, even though it's time to win the race. I can't blame him. He knows you got fresher tires, so he's got to hold you off.
Right. So yeah, I'm pretty excited here. But I need some points. I've had
Yes.
like you said before, a snake bitten season. So I gotta bring it home today. So I'm happy with top 5. Hell, even a top 10, I'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, bud. Well, go get him. We'll be watching.
All right, see you in victory lane.
He said, "See you in victory lane." I love it. All right. So here we go. We should get one to go this time. So if anybody gets the broadcaster curse, it's going to be Rick. Sorry, Rick. All right, so get re-racked up. This is going to be a shootout now. And, Rick's right. He's got the tires. He's had that snake bit season. He definitely needs a good finish. I mean, he's poised to get at least a top 5 here, which is going to be great. And, he's just got to hold it, and he's going to finish just fine. Got an opportunity, so I'm sure he's gonna punch that throttle and not let up. And look, while we got the time too, Jeff Ledford is in P5. That 01 there behind Rick Baldwin also got fresh tires, but up 21 positions from where he started. So he was pretty much one of our last trucks, and now he's looking to get a top 5. So great run for him tonight. Takes forever to get around here on pace laps, but we'll get our green-white checker in here. Now, there are 2 opportunities for green-white checker. So if they can't get this one done and they have another caution, we'll do one more. I got to imagine some of these guys are getting kind of close on fuel, though, so I don't think they want to see that, but intensity is definitely going to pick up here. All right, here we go. Pace truck is off for our first and hopefully only green-white checker. 11 gets a great jump. There, 19 gets a good jump too. Of course, the 11 was the control, so he gets way out there. But look at the 11 or the 19 now. He is on the outside of the 29. Look for him to make that pass and then try to set sail on this 11 as well. There he goes. Okay, so he's around. Let's see what he can do now. Like I said, these guys are teammates in this league, but this is go time. It is win time. I remember in another league, I was racing with Rick Baldwin, this exact same position. I was in second. He was in first on a green-white checker. I passed him as a teammate because it is time to go to get the win, and I think he's going to try to do the same thing here. But, man, that 29 is staying right there, and the 01 is fast as well. 29 goes inside. Oh, please don't slide up the track. Oh, 19 is clear. They're all kind of catching the 11 here. This is going to be tough. White flag in the air. This race is official as 19 has a great run. Looking to the outside here. See if the 19 can hold this momentum. Goes a little high, but he's trying to get that momentum off. Probably going to have to try a crossover if he's got the momentum. Can't quite do it yet. He's on the outside now. You don't want to be on the outside in turn 2, but Baldwin had no choice. Here it comes. Now he's got to block the inside as well. 0-1 settles into to third. 19 in second. 1 corner to go. 11 looking great here. I don't think they're going to be able to catch him as long as he doesn't have any issues, and he is smooth through turn 3. Checkered flag is in the air. They're wrecking behind him. Elijah Fisher gets the win. Great run from him to hold these guys off. That was an amazing run for him. They are wrecking behind. Coming to the checkers. I saw that the 94, our points leader, was in that. He ends up finishing 14th. Can't be happy about that. Rick Baldwin definitely wanted that win, but second place is a great run. Didn't want to push it too hard on that outside. Turn 2 is just, you just don't want to be on that outside. It's not great. I think that was the difference. Elijah was able to block that outside so that, or the inside, so that he was not able to take the inside in 2, or it probably would have been a different story. Great presence of mind and awareness by Fisher to get this win tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our results. Oh, there it is. So, like we said, Fisher gets the win. Baldwin gets second, led for third. Mike Allen, great run for him, gets fourth. Alex Healy ends up in fifth. Shepard is going to be in sixth. Seventh is going to go to Singleton. Highball in eighth. Worthington in ninth. And Bobby Grady rounds out your top 10. Let's go ahead as our drivers line up. Let's get started with our post-race interviews. Let's start with third place, Jeff Ledford. Jeff, Matthew in the booth, you got me?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Man, great run tonight. You kind of snuck in there at the end. You were kind of mid-pack most of the way, but man, great finish. Take us through kind of that last run strategy and how you got there.
Well, to start out, man, I was going out to qualify and my system locked up. So I had to get back in.
So that's why you started out so low.
Yeah, I joined the grid with 2 seconds to go.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was close. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm back here. Let's just be slow, methodical, and just take my time going through. And we had originally, before the caution came out, I was going to go long stand on that second pit. And then the last pit, I was going to short stop and do 2 tires only. And that got thrown away with all those cautions. Well, the last caution, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do 2 here. And it got me some field position. And congratulations to Elijah, man. I was going to push it 3 wide on the tunnel turn.
Oh, I seen it.
And thought better of it.
Yeah, it might have been mayhem. It might have worked. You never know. But, man, great run. I mean, it was exciting finish. I mean, exactly what you want to see. Give us your sponsors, teammates, whoever you want to thank, man. Give you shout-outs.
Yeah, I want to first of all thank you and the whole SRN group, man. This is a top-notch league, man. These guys come out here. There's competition levels from top-notch to, you know, me. I run 10th or so if I'm lucky. So to get out here and get a top 3 was just really good. I want to thank Mag Real Estates for being a sponsor, along with Natural Life Apathy. You know, they're Dr. Phil and our team, he advocates for this pretty good. Me being a CDL driver, I kind of have to hold off on that stuff, but
Yep.
he advocates pretty good for it.
Yeah.
I want to also go ahead and big thanks for the VFW there in Pennsylvania, man, post 1536. Appreciate you guys coming on board, man, and sponsoring some races for us, and glad to have you guys. And want to thank James Wagner's Welding, man. He sponsors my truck and our team, man, and just a dang good guy, man. If anybody needs any welding done and you're in the North Carolina area on the western side there, anywhere Tennessee, Virginia, he's the guy to see, man. He's been in it for. I used to help him out when I was having a rough time in my life, man, and that was 20 years ago. So he's been in it for a long time, probably his whole life.
Yeah.
So if you need anything, go see him. But my team, man, they're the ones that keep me coming back every week. They push me. I get down and they keep me straight. So I want to thank them for being there for me.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, congratulations on your third place finish. Go enjoy it. We'll see you next week. I know you're headed straight to bed, so get some rest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, bud. All right, let's get our second place, Rick Baldwin. Let's get him in here. Oop. Rick, Matthew, got me?
Hey, Matt.
All right, well, we just talked a minute ago. Couldn't quite get it done, but man, fireworks. That was fun. Take us through it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that time you and I raced for the win at Pocono with your last minute move in turn 2.
Yeah, I actually I said that just a minute ago. I was like, this
Oh, okay. Of course you did.
shades of a season past.
Yeah. Well, again, a teammate got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fresher tires, lots of speed. Elijah did not count me off on the restart. So,
Nope.
you know,
No, of
he
course
did what he
not.
had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I ended up on the outside at turn 2. I think that's what really, it was over at that point on the last lap. Outside of 2 does not feel good. So I was lucky to hold on to second after that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad to get a result that, shows how fast I've been actually running. It seems like I've had issues every single race, things out of my control, things within my control, some silly mistakes, but it's nice to finally get a good result.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I think in the live call it was like when he kind of shaded to the inside for 2, so you couldn't take that crossover. I was like, I think that's the race because turn 2 out there is so tough, and so, but no, you did a great job holding on to it, finishing second. Great job there. So give us your team sponsors, shout outs, what you want.
Shout out Southern Racing Network, my family for watching, and our sponsors, Natural Life Apothecary. Thank you so much. And MAG Real Estate, San Antonio, Texas. Everything that you do, Matthew Gall, to put this on. You work real hard, and we really appreciate it. It's been a great season. It's my first podium. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Awesome. All right. Well, congratulations on second. Go enjoy it. We will see you next week.
See ya.
All right. Let's get the man of the hour in here. Our leader, Elijah. This is Matthew in the booth. You got me, bud?
Yes, I do.
What a run, man. Take us through kind of the strat, the no pit, hanging on to it. Kind of take us through what happened there.
Oh man, I don't know. I was talking with Rick there over team comms through the race, and I just said, "What if I just pit like 3 or 4 laps early than everybody else?" He's like, "I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna pay off." And I'm like, "Well, I think I'm gonna try it." So I did, and oh man, it was like I couldn't believe I came off a pit road and it was 4-second gap, and I'm like, okay, no pressure or anything, we're only in the lead by like, dominating
by a mile.
I'm like, okay, we're already in, turn 4 if there was one compared to the rest of the field. So
Yeah.
I just rolled with it and kept trying to work numbers and crunched it. And I thought we lost the race there at one point because it turned into a fuel saving thing. So I was way in the back just trying to save the fuel, and I was lucky that caution came out at lap 70. I told Rick again, I said, I don't know. I'm just going to stay out and see what happens. And it was the right call, but what a drive.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell from the very first pit that, okay, short pitting is going to work. And, after you did it, several guys did it. And then there was some that didn't. I was like, you guys don't have relatives? Like, and it definitely looked like it was going to work out for you. But okay, aside from that though, the green-white checker holding guys off, 2 cautions at the end. Let's not sell it short there. That was a hell of a drive.
Yeah. I just said I just got to go. I got to get to the restart box, and just did not lift, no wheel spin, nothing. So that was tough. It was hard to hold off the 19 there. He had a great effort, and that's the kind of racing I want, to try to go for a win. Full pressure, everything was on there, and that was well earned.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations. I think first win in the series, right? And so give us your sponsors, shout outs, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours.
Will, I do want to say one thing. I didn't think it was going to be as replicant to my favorite driver, Denny Hamlin, but we took it to victory lane. First career win in any league in iRacing in an 11 Toyota truck, coincidentally. But
don't have FedEx this week, though.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I texted mom halfway through the race, around lap 30 from the lead. I said, "Mom, tune into this one, and I just gotta thank you for the support the whole time, man.
Yeah,
You're great, mom. I love
she's
you."
yeah, she's been chatting it up here. She's been very active. She's definitely your biggest supporter. You definitely have a fan in her. I will say, since you're not going to say it, I will say that Elijah runs another great league on Mondays. I broadcast it. It's called Inspired Racing, so you guys should definitely check it out. At least watch broadcast if you want to get in. Also starting an ARCA series on Saturday evenings. So looking for drivers for that still, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very much.
So yeah, it's got a good thing going on over there as well. So congratulations tonight, buddy. Great win. We'll see you next week. Hopefully you'll do it again many times this season. Good to see you out here in P1.
Yeah, thank you very much. Shout out Steven, Chris Layout on the paint scheme. Sorry to choke up and everything, but my goodness. SRN Broadcast, Mag Real Estate, Natural Life Apothecary. Shout out to all you guys for coming on board the truck and all the teammates I've had along the way.
Absolutely. Well, great win, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you have it. Hey, if you don't think iRacing is real, listen to that interview right there. That's what it's all about. Getting that first win. It's got to be amazing for him. I'm excited for him. And it was a great race tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We will see you guys next week. We'll see you on Monday for his Inspired League, and then back on Wednesday here for the SRN Truck Series. Y'all have a great night.